Rich country, poor country. G7, G20, a new world order. Next on Global Pulse. A comparison of how broadcasters worldwide are covering the economic summit. For 33 years, the world's 7 most advanced economies, the G7, led by the US, UK, Germany, and France, have called the economic shots. Now, in the greatest change since World War II, new players are joining the old guard. Called the G20, this expanded group holds most of the world's wealth, with China, Russia, India, and Brazil as new star players. Korea's KBS explains.
The International Summit for the Global Financial Crisis has been expanded from G7 to G20 because the leading 7 developed countries cannot solve the crisis alone. This expanded meeting raises the question whether a new global financial system will be created.
China has $1.8 trillion of foreign currency, and Russia has $580 billion. Of the top 7 countries with large foreign reserves, only Japan is a developed country. 5 of the top 7 are emerging markets.
The developed nations are turning to China, one of the world's wealthiest nations. But as China's CCTV and Al Jazeera English show, China has its own game plan.
This is the man whose efforts U.S. Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson says will save the global economy. Farmer Wang Zhenyuan's income may not amount to much, but combined with that of his 1.3 billion compatriots, it makes up one of the mightiest forces in the global economy. But how does he feel about being called to the financial aid of some of the richest countries in the world?
There are many countries poorer than the United States. Why should we help them? Just because they say they need it, we can't just help anyone who asks for it.
China's State Council has approved a proposal to invest 4 trillion yuan through to the year 2010 to help boost domestic demand.
The policy not only focuses on expanding investment, but also optimizing the economic structure and improving people's livelihood. These projects include guaranteed housing projects for low-income residents, healthcare development, and culture and educational undertakings. They will also focus on enhancing environmental protection projects and increasing people's incomes.
A missing piece of China's economic might is energy, and so it turned to another wealthy G20 nation, as Russia's RT reported.
Russia and China will jointly finance an oil pipeline branch to China.
In exchange, China will use its foreign currency reserves of $1.9 trillion to finance the project and extend loans to Transneft and Rosneft.
A third emerging economic team member is Brazil, and as the BBC and Spain's TVE show, Brazil's President Lula plans to start calling some plays.
Brazil, India, and South Africa are asking rich nations to listen to the questions they have about the financial crisis. The leaders of the 3 major emerging economies have strongly criticized the rich nations for provoking the global financial crisis.
On a wider international stage, Brazil is irritated that existing structures do not give sufficient weight to developing countries.
If we don't want to be dragged down by this crisis, isolated measures won't be enough to protect our national interests. We need to make ourselves heard collectively in the discussions when decisions are taken on subjects that have a global impact.
On CNN and other outlets, President Bush explained that the G20 planned to take action.
This weekend I'm going to host a summit on financial markets and the world economy with leaders from developed and developing nations that account for nearly 90% of the world economy.
But he skimmed over certain facts. A good deal of that wealth is now controlled by the new team, creating a new world order. For Global Pulse, this is Erin Coker.
This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only US network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world.